For some years now, we've been faced with the road to have a third alternative to the two major political parties that have dominated the scene without headways. Another attempt has been birthed on Wednesday this week. Some prominent Nigerians established a third force under the aegis of the national movement, the TNM, and they include a former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso, as well as a former minister for youth and sports development, Dalung, an elder statesman, that's Tanko Yakassai, and a popular critic, Buba Galadima. These are some of the members of the TMN. And at the event in Abuja, the convener, Mr. Kwankwaso, says the desire of TMN or TNM is to take over power from the All Progressives Congress, the APC, in 2023. But they all have one thing in common. They are kids from the two old blocks. Let's share this report with you.
It is a gathering of Nigerians from different socio-economic and religious backgrounds, and the intention is to create a movement geared at promoting good governance, accountability, transparency, equity, fairness and justice. The mantra of this movement is Save Democracy, Rescue the Nation. It is targeted at promoting the culture and spirit of coexistence and mutual respect amongst all citizens of our country. Convener of the national movement, former Governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso, says the movement is a reaction to the need to effect change in all areas in the country. He highlights the need to equip and empower the military and all other security agencies to enable them tackle the issue of insurgency, kidnapping, and other violent crimes.
As a former Minister of Defense, I believe in the capacity of our security forces to confront and solve the current insurgency bedeviling our country. We will equip and empower the military and all arms of our security agencies and provide them with effective and unquestioned capacity to reclaim our country from the stronghold of insurgents, kidnappers, terrorists, and all forms of criminal elements.
The vision of the national movement is for the realization of a great new Nigerian nation, governed under an atmosphere that promotes trust and ensures abundance for all citizens. Celestina Iria, TBC News, Abuja.
There we see now the national movement, the TNM, and some of the speakers, including Rabiu Kwankwaso, they're justifying the creation of this third force movement. BKO, this is not the first time that we'll be faced with discussions around a third force option. Ahead of the last general election, discussions like this, sprung up, and now ahead of another general election, we are having this. Where do you see this going?
Well, it's not easy to form a political party that can challenge the ruling party or the most dominant opposition party. It's not easy at all. It involves a lot of hard work, a lot of resources. So if you are thinking of forming a third force with just a little over 400 days left for this government to leave office, and with just about 1 month or so before the presidential election, I think this is coming rather too late. If you observe, the APC began moves to form, the parties that came together to form the APC. ABGA, ANPP, ACN, CPC. It took them almost 4 years. Almost 4 years. They had been trying to hammer out some form of agreement to start that party, but it didn't work. It took a long time. The efforts of people like Ashwaju Tinubu, and by 2013, by early 2013, a party was already in place, because I remember attending the first consultative forum meeting of the APC at the Ladikwali of Sheraton in Abuja. The party had already been formed, and they were just waiting for INEC to give it the all clear, you know. So if it took them that long, despite the fact that they had big parties, you know, coming together, I don't know how the people behind the TNM can really challenge the status quo, given the time that they are. If they had not said that they want to take power in 2023, I could say, well, this is work in progress and probably they will get there. But every election year, we always have this kind of people coming together talking about a third force. It's extremely difficult to form a party that can challenge for honors at the national level. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. And I could tell you, if not for disunity within the PDP would not, the APC would not have won the election. There were many people who were still in the APC even in December 2014. Today, some of the people you see in the National Assembly or some governors were actually people who lost the primaries of the PDP and then they switched to APC, and because of their popularity, they were able to win for the new party. People like Samuel Otom, people like the governor of Kebbi State, they contested the governorship primaries of the APC, and the next day, after they lost, they switched to APC. So the disagreement within the PDP that caused people like Saraki, people like Amechi to walk out on the governor, on the president, and leave the party, people like Atiku, was what actually made the APC that strong, to the point that they can now challenge a ruling party. It's not easy to dislodge a ruling party.
Let me compare your notes with your assessment with Mr. Shote. What do you think? Should the two main political parties be afraid? We're looking at the likes of elder statesmen like Mr. Yakassai, Galadimas, and co.
Well, first, I'm happy that the third force is not a military option. I'm very happy. I've been apprehensive, especially considering what is happening in West Africa now, coups and so on. I don't want coup in Nigeria. So I'm happy it's a civilian initiative. Now, having said that, I'm going to say I agree with Babajide 150%. You see, think about it. Look at the dynamics of the formation of APC. The people who will spend money, about 8 governors, left their parties and joined APC, or rather helped to form APC. Do you understand? People who are holding offices, who had finances, who had money, government money to spend in the formation of a political party and for the campaign of their presidential candidate. Those were the people who came out of their political parties to form APC. I don't see anybody like that here. The best I have is former governors, former ministers, and the rest of that. They are not people who are happening now. And if you doubt what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, just look at what happened in last week, the primaries of APC in Osun State. The sitting governor, it was no problem for him to win over the primaries. And then if you go back about a year or two ago, you go to Edo State, the sitting governor defeated the party chairman. You understand? So as far as I'm concerned, it's okay that they are, at least that's another alternative.
Option.
Yes, I like
All
it,
right.
but I don't see them really making